I'm not laughing. I'm growing up. Our baby's growing up. Hi, guys. Now I'm laughing. Shoot. I thought I had it. So, hey, Kendra. So, lots of notes today. This is like gold, right? These are all of our Facebook Lives. And I've got like 4 more down there. I think I showed you that last time. Sorry. So we had a really awesome screen reader. We do Facebook Lives with our screen readers as well. So I know there are people here. I don't know that you're here unless you leave a comment. Peggy's here, yay! A screen reader. It'll be all diehard screen readers. So I'll just really quickly, as I do in the beginning, so fast forward if you're watching the replay and you've seen this before. But basically we have so many people coming in, and as soon as Doug joins in, he'll share it, or maybe Kendra, you could share it into the group because this is the page. Hey, Elaine, howdy. More screen readers, yay. So you'll see me referring to screen readers. Another screen, Sheree, these are great people. So let me kind of just, for all you new people, because we are getting like hundreds of people every day are joining in, super fun. So we basically have just different levels of how we provide information about being a reader. We've got Hollywood Gatekeepers, which is the page, which is where you are now. Well, hello, Laura. So, which is where you are now on the Hollywood Gatekeepers page because you're interested in learning about this whole reading thing. Yeah, it's a thing. So we give away information on the Hollywood Gatekeepers page. We wanted you to be able to share these trainings, and you can't share from inside the group. So we do them on the page. And then my partner, Doug Shaner, who I haven't seen yet, but he will share it into the group. And then that way in the group, people can see it as well. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, you should do that because we're in there all the time. We answer more questions. Everyone's getting to know each other. It's quite a party in there. So you should join us in there. So we have those 2 levels. Then we also have, when you, if you look, you can see a Learn More button. Total Brady Bunch. Totally dating myself with that reference. But if you join the mailing list, you get articles and that kind of thing. And then periodically, which happens to be now, we do workshops, and those are free as well. In the workshop, we dive really deep. And we actually added, this time, we've added a new thing. We have this video series. So if you scroll down the page, you can see the video series is also free. That answers the kind of really basic questions and gets you ready for the workshop, which dives even deeper. And then we also have a paid version. We have a course that people can take, and that goes really like, we're getting very personal in there. It goes really deep. We're sharing all kinds of things in there. It's really great. We're getting to know each other, and that's the screen reader family. So when you hear me refer to screen readers, those are the people that are in the course, are taking the course and working their way through oodles and oodles of material, and they're very cool about it. And so we are just, you know, getting to know each other in there. And I mean, some of them have been in there for a little while, so we really do know each other pretty well. And then we do a lot of fun things in there as well. We do movie nights, and we have guest stars. We had someone come in a couple of weeks ago who is an Oscar winner a couple times over, and he came in and talked to everybody. Oh, hello. Well, hello, Sam and Darren. My stalker is back. Woohoo! Yay, Jessica. Hello, Deborah. Woohoo! Happy Saturday. Happy lady. Oh, it's Saturday. And Scruffles is here. She's a terrible assistant. I really should fire her. She just wakes up because it's time for her nap, and that's about it. So we are here. It's Saturday. We do these trainings. We try to do them weekly. We take time off every great once in a while. Not that often, though, actually. So we do these trainings in here typically on Wednesdays, and then except the first week of the month, we try to do them on Saturdays for those of you that have jobs where you can't come on the weekday. So that's it in a nutshell. So I meant to look up her name. Candace, I want to say, posted, hey, can anybody get together for 30 minutes and talk about writing a screenplay? Which I love. It's such a great question. Sure. So that's what we're doing. Oh, no. Grab a cup of coffee and talk about a screenplay. Look, do you recognize the cup? This is the cup that's in the ads. It's on our Facebook page. If you look, see? We are like grassroots around here. Totally slammed that down, sorry. We are grassroots around here. We do our own. Take a picture, put it online. So yeah, we are showing people how to do the reading process, and then showing people how to start your own business doing that. So we feel like being a reader is also being an entrepreneur, making sure I'm scroll, Carolyn. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna take a breath. I tend not to breathe. I get excited. I'm so excited. So I have a lot of notes about how to write a screenplay. So we thought we'd dive in with that. So, but let me preference a little more housekeeping. So we do these workshops periodically. We're actually not sure if we're going to do it again this year. We're still trying to decide. This whole thing has been about a year that we've decided to start doing this, so we're still kind of learning and playing. We know how to be readers. We're very, we're experts at that. We really can talk about the reading process. This whole online thing of how to show you how to do it, that's all new. So we're kind of figuring that out. So we're not sure if we'll be doing the workshops or opening enrollment into the course again this year. We may do it one more time. We're still playing with that. So basically, a couple of times a year, we open up enrollment and allow students in. The rest of the time, we keep the enrollment closed so that we can focus on our students and really give them, answer the questions and be there for them. So that's why we only open enrollment every great once in a while, which happens to be this Wednesday. Ding! I need like a, what do you call it? I should know this. A Foley. We need someone like doing sound. I do know it, as it turns out. So we need ding. So this week, yay, the course opens up. You want a cup like that. Oh, I forgot to say in screen readers. So swag is a coming. I got all the logos and I was like, swag will be back next week. And I keep like making announcements. I gotta stop doing that because I get excited and then the logos wouldn't work on the site. So, but now the logos just as of yesterday are working. So swag is a coming. Tea for Darren. Tea for Darren. Oh, wine would be good. We need wine glasses. So wine would be, I need a gong. That's what I need. And we already have, like you'll see in the workshop, we have a whole thing for trolls, for people that aren't nice. You need to be nice. That's kindergarten rules. Oh, and I was going to talk about this. We got so sidetracked in Screen Readers today. It was awesome. We've been getting to know each other and doing interviews, kind of long story, but I had other things I was going to tell you about, which we'll save for next time. I'll do a little bit right now, though. But I met with the manager last week in a thing, and we were interviewing him about some stuff. And one of the questions that I asked was, how can we help you? Which is what we are trying to do as screen readers. We are trying to figure out ways. Hi, Sonia. We're trying to figure out ways to I get sidetracked by your comments. Yes, coffee mugs. One of the things that we're really trying to promote here is that we are screen readers that champion writers for one thing. We're not like, your script stinks, get out of town. Like, no, we're trying to go, here's the good things, here's the bad things, whatever. Not bad things even. Here's the things that can be improved. Like we want to be nice, right? And then we want to be a support system for producers, because producers are like juggling, talk about gongs, man. They are juggling like, woo! They are insanely juggling in a huge amount of things. So we want to be that go-between that supports both things. So we're talking to this manager and I said, so how can we, and it was actually, he was talking about, at the time he was talking about actors, but I said, how can we as writers, actors, whatever you're representing, how can we help you? How do we make your job easier? And you think he would say, you really need to know your craft. You really need to, as an actor, you need to be ready with monologues, or, you need to have scenes down, or as a writer, you need to have more than one screenplay. That's a whole nother topic. As, you need to know, how, you need to be ready. You need to like have your reel done as an actor. Like it's all, no, you know what he said? Be nice. I didn't even get the words out of my mouth. How can we help you do your job? Be nice. Like he was like right up the gate, like clearly forefront of his mind. Be nice. Your people skills. Be polite. Be accommodating. Be cool. Hi from Tennessee and Florida and North Carolina. Just a stone's throw. That's me too, if I could hurl a stone from California. Anyway, but yeah, that's a big thing here. Kindergarten rules apply. Treat others, and you'll see, like, if you don't, it comes right back at you. People are mean. When you're mean, people are mean. So if people are constantly mean, and I had experience just today taking someone to the airport while they were driving, super uptight. This is a great little story. I'm not going to say who. Super uptight on the way to the airport. And of course, because the driver, whose flight it was, because I was like, I'm not driving if you're that uptight, because I don't want to be responsible. Drive, like, supposedly, or thinking, oh, we're late. And then every car that could possibly get in the way got in the way. And I really feel like it's that energy. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna, and then it turned out, got to the airport, Doug, you don't even know this part, got to the airport, and then I left with the car, and then texted me a few minutes later, oh, the flights, I was wrong. I thought it was 11, it said 11:50. So it was like, you had an extra hour. Anywho, so if people are being like mean to you, yeah, you know, look at a mirror. It's so true, right? Be alert. We need to get the alerts. Okay, you guys are fitting right in. Oh, Maryland, awesome. That's somewhere new. I don't think that's been represented. I'm glad you're here, Sam. So yeah, so, and I also feel like if you look at your Facebook page, if you look at my Facebook page, it's full of, well, it's a little bit full of online stuff because I've been clicking on things, but it's mostly full of babies and puppies because I don't want all that kind of, I'm like, no, delete. So I get babies and puppies. And I've seen other people's Facebook that's all like, everybody angry. So anyway, but anyway, yeah, so be nice. Be a nice alert. I'm a nice alert. That's like Dr. Seuss. Anywho, so today we're not talking about any of that. Okay, I'm 15 minutes in. Just things flying. 15 minutes in and I'm on tangents already. All right, so today we're talking about writing a screenplay. So in half an hour, which I've already used 15 minutes of. Okay, here we go. Okay, so clearly, and I haven't even seen her in here, so I'm gonna like comment on her comment and go, hey, we did this for you. Where the heck are you? Benny Hill is good. Okay. So yeah, how to write a screenplay, bringing it down. Hi, Cindy, another screenwriter. So many screenwriters. You can't learn how to write a screenplay in half an hour coffee, but you can get started for sure. And I'm just going to kind of take you through a few things that we kind of feel like are good things to know. If you have never, this is speaking to someone who has never written a screenplay, or maybe you've dabbled a bit, but it's not the person that's cranking them out. Like all of us, just crank them out, right? It's so easy. I worked with a director once, one of my favorite quotes ever. We were on the set of his movie, filming his movie, and he said to me, well, the next one's done. All I have to do is write it. I like burst out laughing. He was like, what? And I said, that is the best quote ever. All I have to do is write it. Like, that's so easy. I'm just going to write it. But it was done in his head. And I have several like that. Right, Doug? Doug and I both do. So, yeah. Wait. Where is Doug? I haven't seen Doug. Doug! Kendra? What's going on? Okay, so how to write a screenplay. That's what we're going to talk about. So a lot of people, one of the first things that you see if you Google, how could I write a screenplay? And a lot of people say this, like all the time I see this, and I don't agree. My humble, what is it? NB, yeah, there's an acronym for it, never to be humble opinion, is to write a treatment. Is that you get an idea and you write a treatment. And you write this whole treatment of your whole movie. I just think that's a total waste of time. Sorry. I just feel like not this, yeah, open up a word browser and frickin' write. That's awesome. So, oh, cool. That's cool. Sid feels awesome. To write a treatment, so you can do that. Absolutely, you can do it. It's a good way to kind of suss things out. But a couple things about treatments that I kind of my opinions about them. One, it's a completely different writing style. Writing a treatment is writing in prose. It's like you're writing a book. It's a totally different thing. And you give dialogue examples, whatever, but it's not the same as writing a screenplay. It's really different. So even some people that write screenplays write terrible treatments because they're not they're not prose novelists, they're screenplay writers. So one, you spend a lot of time, and typically if you already have a screenplay kind of mind and you've got this thing, you know, sussed out, it's going to take you longer to write a treatment because it's not kind of how your mind works if you're a screenwriter. So there's Doug. Yay! Can you share us into the group in case no one's done that? Has anybody done that? Yeah, so there can be a lot of work, and there are different style of writing. And honestly, Scout's honor, in my years of being a reader, never seen a treatment, never seen a treatment, never had a treatment come across my desk, not once, not once. So I think sometimes treatments are used, well, I was going to say when you're getting agents and managers, but I read for agents and managers and never saw one there either, because it's a different kind of writing style, and because most people don't want to sit down and read a treatment. Like, it's a different thing. It's a lot of work to read and write, and it's just not used. And so it's interesting to me, and maybe there's a world of treatment readers out there. maybe you could niche in that. Niche. Yeah, maybe there's something for it, but yeah. Doug. So, oh, thanks, Joanne. Joanne shared, because she's a good screen reader. Right. Oh, folders, that's a great one. That's actually one of my tips coming up. So you see a lot of people say write a treatment. Go to town. If you want to write a treatment, like just write. Like if you're having trouble writing and you're having, just write. I mean, that is true. Like just write. Freaking write your shopping list. Write. Just write anything. Journaling. I really am a big believer of journaling. Tracking your dreams. Like those kinds of things might sound kind of weird and woo, but it gets you in the habit, and that's very important. So that's not even on my list. So the other thing that a lot of people say is write a log line. So, okay, yes, writing log lines it's a great exercise, and you should write log lines. You should write. Yeah, Michael Haig is awesome. He's awesome. He's a super nice guy too. But he's someone to check out. So writing log lines is a really great exercise. When I first started writing screenplays, I was working with a director at Columbia, a whole nother great story there, but he was like saying, just come, I was trying to decide what to write about. And he was like, well, come up with a few log lines. And me, being my usual self, came up with like 100 in all these different genres. And then he narrowed it down, and then I started picking. So that worked. That's a great exercise because it kind of gets your mind working. But to write a log line as an intro into your screenplay, again, another waste of time, because your screenplay could take all kinds of shape and form. The log line comes if you're not trying to sell it yet. If you're trying to sell it and you're writing and someone's asked you to write it or some whole different thing, if you've pitched it or whatever, yeah, you need a solid log line. But if you're just sitting down on your own to write a screenplay, the log line kind of comes after you're done, because then you kind of have your story figured out. So those are two advice a lot of people get. Hey, Maribel. And I just, yeah, tell yourself, listen to yourself. Tell yourself and then listen to yourself. Just right, definitely. So then the next thing is outline. And outlines, yes, outlines I think are very beneficial. So if you want to outline, go into the 3-act structure and make sure that you have 3 acts. And even if you don't have 3 acts, Michael Haig uses a 5-point system, which I think is really smart as well. But your story will have 3 acts. I think that's just inherent in our nature, that beginning, middle, end. But then people say, not every script. I always get feedback, blowback whenever I say that, because people go, not all scripts, and it's true. Not all scripts follow that very regiment thing. Most of them do, even if it's not told in a super narrative 3-act style. There's usually typically still a 3-act thing in there, and people that don't do it know they're breaking it. So you do need to know the rule before you can break it, in my opinion. So like having that structure and having your inciting incident and having your plot points figured out and having it all together in an outline, and then knowing what are the things that are going to happen, that can really help you stay on track. And so when you start writing, those first 10 pages are really, really important. Like when you're done, those first 10 pages are really, really like the most important, because that's the very first thing. And there are readers that do what's known as a 10-30 or 30-10, where they read the first 10 and the last 30, or the first 30 and the last 10. I have never done that. Don't recommend it. Don't like that. I think you owe that writer your time. That's what you're there for. But those first 10 pages are what pull people in. So they're really important. Everything's important. The whole script needs to be really good. But one of the other things, and like I said, we just had this 2-time Oscar winner come in and speak to our students. And one of the things that he said, and he was referring especially to book adaptations, but he said so many writers just start writing without knowing where they're going. And so the ends all kind of tumble out and fall apart. And so if you write with the end in mind, that is amazing. Like it really makes a difference. I know as a writer, that's really made a difference too. Yes, that is true. Sorry. Like making sure, and then I'm clicking into weird things. Yeah, so if you write with the end in mind, thanks, Derek, that's good. I'm glad it's kind of helping you. It could be your brain can get all kinds of weird. Oh, I'll have to check out. I haven't seen Blake Snyder's 4-act structure. I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Jessica. Yeah. So yeah, you'll definitely, log lines we could do a whole topic just on log lines and all of the ways you can use them. But as a thing to be the thing to write your screenplay, I don't know, it's not that necessary. An outline, knowing, at least knowing kind of your beginning and end, knowing which character is your protagonist and which is your antagonist, which sounds like obvious, but now, especially today when we have so many anti-hero stories that are popular, you know, Deadpool, is he an antagonist or a protagonist? Obviously he's a protagonist, and it's all tongue-in-cheek, but there's so many, look at Shameless. That's a really great example of a show where they're all protagonists. You know, we have all these protagonists, but they're doing things that are very, you know, antagonistic. So, but you still, even if your characters are, you know, flawed, which they should be, you should, that was for you, Jessica. You should know who they are. You need to know who your protagonist and antagonist, because if you don't know, we won't know when we read it. Whatever you know, we'll get, well, or not sometimes, but you need to know, because if you don't, for sure we won't. At least you know, then we'll either get it or not. But if you don't know, we don't know for sure. So did you follow that? That was pretty great advice, right? These are live. What am I going to do? So you need to know your script. If you know it, most people will get onto it. And if you don't, if they don't, then you at least can tell them what you're trying to do. So, yep, that you can tack it when it's another route to go. So even though she's not here, as you go through this, definitely look at everyone's comments, because people are making really smart comments too. So everybody has, you know, you have to do what works well for you. And I happen to have a stellar writing partner that keeps me on track. And so we already know kind of a system of who does what. You know, he's a story guy for sure. Like, that's where I get tripped up. I'm the character. As you can see, I talk. The voices in my head need a place to go. So you want to be able to write with that end in mind. You want to be able to have that structure. You want to be able to know who your characters are. Those are very important things. The more you can kind of have that sussed out ahead of time, it's just easier to stay motivated. If you don't know where you're going, and sometimes it's fun, it can be an exploration and you can kind of see, you're not sure where your characters are going to go, and that can be a fun thing to do. But if your goal is to just get a screenplay done, mapping it out ahead of time can sometimes work a little bit better. Yeah, Elaine, that's a really good question. Is a treatment better used for pitching a script after it's written? Yeah, no, not really. I mean, you can say that it is the thing that a treatment is good. One of the good things about treatment is that it shows you're, you know, you're super serious. If you say, oh, I have the screenplay and I have a treatment, there might be some people that say, oh, let me take a look at the treatment. You might get that occasionally. No, there might be some people that do that, but it is typically is not used to pass around or move up the rank. Yeah, typically no. But it's a good exercise too. And I mean, because when I was first starting out, I did all those log lines, and then I did treatments on like 5 or 6 of the log lines because I had no idea what I wanted to write about. So then I picked, you know, and actually I ended up never doing the scripts of like, so I have like 4 treatments that I never wrote into scripts. But so I ended up picking one because I was super green and really trying to figure it out. Now after a while, you get so many ideas, you know, once you start opening your mind up to ideas, they'll come flooding in. So I don't really need to do that process anymore, but it can be, and I know most writers that I've, you know, worked with or read for or whatever, and scripts that I've read for, that was bad grammar, sorry, or scripts that have come in, you know, through production companies, those writers are either their partners and they just come up with a great hook, or they write, you know, great advice that I've been given is write what you know. So usually personal stories are the ones, you know. And this Oscar winner that we talked to, he was looking for things to write and adapted a book that he liked, and then he was also just like his own experiences, using your own experiences. You know, truth is stranger than fiction, and a lot of the times people will be like, "Oh, that's not real," when it actually is the truth. So I think that's a great place to start. Yeah, you need to have a log line of your script to be able to pitch it to people, but typically, from my experience, again, this is all from the experience that I've gone through. Someone else could tell you, no, you need to have that treatment. You don't need a treatment. I haven't seen that you actually need a treatment. It can be a good thing to get you started, but again, it's such a different writing style that someone that can write a smoke and treatment, they might write a terrible screenplay because it's just a different style of writing. It's like some people are screenplay writers and some people are novelists and some people are both, for sure. But in general, if you're a screenplay writer, write a screenplay. That's so stupid. But yeah, that should work. That's, in my opinion, that's the best way to approach it. So yeah. And so then there's just, you know, kind of some basic formatting things. If you don't know, it's a minute per page. Every minute, you know, if it's a 90-page script, it's a 90-page movie. And so that's how readers know right out the gate how long your movie is going to be, or how long your script, you know, why your script needs to be more than 60 pages. It's not, if it's 60 pages, it's not a feature. So, and that is getting, you know, well, no, it's not, never mind. That still applies. And then, you know, don't put camera angles in your script. You are the writer, not the director. Unless you're planning to direct that movie, you can go ahead and put your camera angles in there. But even if you are planning to direct it, sometimes, and this happens to big old published, you know, Oscar-winning writers, someone will say, oh, you should let someone else direct this. It's going to serve you well to do that. So even if you think you might direct it, still don't put camera angles in that first draft. So, and we're talking, there's two different kinds of, well, there's many different kinds of scripts, but I'm speaking specifically to spec scripts as opposed to shooting scripts. A spec script is one that no one's paying you to write. You're just writing the script on your own in hopes that you can get it made someday somewhere. So a shooting script is one that's already been optioned and somebody's already got it and you're writing it to be shot. Yeah, Christopher Vogler is just awesome. He's got a couple of books out, and he's actually, his dialogue advice is so better than any I've ever seen. Yeah, really good, really good. Yeah, you're a storyteller. I can tell that already, Darren. You're clearly a storyteller. Yeah, I think you're right, Jessica. Yeah, everyone absolutely should read it. Yeah, love it. Love this. Okay, so yeah, and then the final kind of thing that I have, well, there's those are just, you know, when you first introduce a character, it's all in all caps. There's just a couple little formatting things. There's a lot of formatting things, and readers, when they're reading, you know, 100 scripts a week or whatever, they're going to look at your script and immediately be able to tell by your formatting whether or not you're a new writer. So you want to try to have, as silly as it might sound, you want to try to have those basic rules in place, because it just starts you out on the same level as everybody else. If you're already fighting out the gate, if you've got a big old poster on the front of your script, it's, you know, the front page should be blank. There's just all kinds of little things about writing your script. So those are all good things to know as well. And then there's, you know, there's formatting tools out there. There's Final Draft, there's Movie Magic, and there's now a new thing, well, it's fairly new, called Writer's Duet that has a free version. Those things automatically format your script, and it's all update and current. So that makes it much easier than trying to set it in Word, which a lot of people do. You can do that, but highly recommend one of these tools. And Writer's Duet has a free version that you can get started with. I don't know how far you can get before they ask for money, but it's definitely a great way that you can get started. Yay. Yes, when you tear yourself away from the screenplay writing, I do that when I'm going to go to a movie. Should I go to a movie? Should I write a movie? Yeah, didn't I just do that? I know there's a delay. So yeah, those are some of the software. If you guys have other, feel free to jot it in there. Those are the Final Draft is the industry standard, and then Writer's Duet is giving them a run for their money in terms of being an industry standard. And then basically, really, writing is rewriting. Once you've written that great right fade out, go have a glass of wine, whatever, some tea for Darren, whatever your thing is, go for a dance, go for a jog, and then sit down and rewrite. So, oh heavens, Celtics, that's new. And that does screenplay formatting. Is that a Word or a Mac? Haven't heard of that one. So as long as it's definitely the right format, make sure that they, yeah. And then really the best way to learn about script writing, bet you can guess what I'm going to say. What do you think it is? Hollywood Gatekeepers? Anyone? I know there's a bit of a delay, so I'll just sit here. What's the best way to learn how to write a screenplay? Screen readers? Oh, there we go. Word, Movie Magic, yeah. Word. Word. No, that's not what you meant, is it? Yeah, you can do Word, but you have to set it all up, and it's, yeah, you can do it. There's just other tools out there. I'm a firm believer, I'm just riffing here while I wait till people tell me. Well, people tell me, like, what is the best way to learn how to write a screenplay, that is, in Hollywood Gatekeepers. We're home. Thank you, Becky. No, take that. No, it wasn't it. Read. I love that you said that it was like a pitch for the course, but no, it wasn't. It's not what I had in my mind. Read. Yes, read. You guys are so awesome. There it is. There it is. There it is. Awesome. Thanks, Derek. Exactly. Read screenplays. So great. Read each other's, read your friends, read whatever, read yours. Read as many as you can, and then read yours in the middle, because then yours will really suck. I'm just kidding. But it will, like, you'll read yours and go like, oh my God, you'll see all the problems with your own screenplay, which is so great, right? When you start reading, or you might be pleasantly surprised and be like, you know what? Mine's in there. And that's the greatest feeling ever. So it is like, you guys are so awesome. There they are. Everybody's read and write. Right, like the Wright brothers. So so it's a PC. So, well, thanks, Darren. I hadn't been aware of that. I love it when I learn from you. I hope you guys are learning as well. So that's a really basic, you know, I did in half an hour. And she said, can we get coffee for half an hour? I've got my coffee, which I'm not going to drink on camera, because I'm just not, because I'm a total spaz. So yeah, there you have it. So that's kind of the basics, you know. I mean, you guys are giving great comments in here, and so I like both Wrights. And yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't making fun. I like both Wrights because the Wright brothers are awesome, and I think we should write about the Wright brothers. Anyway, my chair is, as usual, my chair is a mess. So, and I'm like, we talked about in screen readers. Okay, anyway, so. Yeah, there you have it. So, and then be nice. Take your script, and then once your script is done, create the log line, create some, you know, other things, contacts, go to Pitch Fest, whatever, and start pitching out that log line and have that script ready along with your other scripts that you have ready, because have more. Because the more you have, the more you're a writer, the more people see you as a writer. God, it does not scroll. There are lots of libraries online. There is, and I think we've even posted a few along the way too. So you guys are so awesome. So yeah, so that's basically kind of an outline of what to do. And you know, I just wanted to, I saw that post, and we're always trying to answer your questions. So we have, the workshops are coming up. I hope you're signed up. First one's Wednesday, and enrollment for the next round of screen readers opens on Wednesday as well. It's a big week coming up. And then we have 4 workshops Wednesday, Saturday. We added another one Wednesday, and then we added one on Saturday because there were just so many people that we wanted to try to accommodate. So you can pick one of those dates. We'll go ahead and put the link here to be able to pick a date. When you go to, there's, if you go to the one for August 8th, it lists all of the dates, so you can pick another one. And then we have the 4 video series that's out right now. You can see a post about that. You can get that and watch that. Those are kind of the basic questions. And then I don't, yeah, I'm not sure, Darren. We'll have to think of it. We actually have, probably not in this particular group, we have another thing that we're creating that will be good for that. So we'll keep you posted on that. That's probably going to come out in the fall, because we are trying to figure out all the ways that we can accommodate people. But this Facebook group is already like, as you yourself have mentioned, what are people posting? Like, it's already like pretty like high maintenance. And if we start doing that in here, I'm not sure it would work, but we're working on ways to make that happen. So I will keep you posted on that. So enrollment opens, oh, thank you, Doug. Such a good partner. So so on that link right there, you can sign up for any of the days. Ta-da! And so enrollment opens on Wednesday, and then it closes on the 19th, midnight on the 19th. And so we're also going to do a little thing where you can meet the screen readers, and then we just like, there's just a lot going on. We're super excited. And starting on Monday, here we go. We're going to do Facebook Lives every day at noon, all of next week, while enrollment's open. So basically, well, a couple days before, and then while enrollment is open. So for the first two weeks starting on Monday, we will do Facebook Lives at noon. Every day we're doing take 5. So I'm taking 5 questions that you guys have asked, either when you've joined the mailing list or when you join the group, and we'll answer those 5 questions. And we'll just kind of, it won't be as long as this. This was like a training. We try to do these weekly trainings. So for the next 2 weeks, we won't be doing the typical Wednesday, or on the first week of the month, we do them Saturdays, but typically on Wednesdays, we do a kind of a longer training. And I also will have a handout with the stuff I just gave you too. So I'll give you that. I will add that link. Each workshop is about an hour, Ben. So although we will stay, Yeah, you can group share. Totally into that. That's totally fine. If you have a group that's good for people, that's fine. Yeah, we want that. That's totally fine. Just post. It's the act of posting the scripts, Darren, that seems a little bit kind of scares me. So each workshop, Ben, is about an hour, although we will stay as long as it takes to answer any questions that you have. It is live, and they're live. You don't, it's a PowerPoint, so you can kind of see what we're talking about, but I will be there, and Doug will be there. And then typically, though, we answer the questions within the workshop. So at the end, people very, very rarely have any questions. So yeah, so then also we'll be doing the Take 5. So if for some reason you take the workshop and we didn't answer a question, well, that's why we're doing these Facebook Lives, so we can pick up questions that people might have that they didn't get to in the workshop. So that's how it's rolling. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks. We're super excited to be, there's going to be some new screen readers because we've got a really fun group right now. They're really great. They crack me up. And they're helping each other. And we've got a bunch of people reading for Austin Film Festival. And it's just been really fun. So awesome. So let us know if you have any questions. You can post them here in the group. Like I believe it was Candace that posted the question, you know, can we talk about screenwriting, how to write a screenplay? And I'm going to go finish my coffee. Darren's going to finish his tea. And then we'll see you on Monday at noon for Take 5, Lunch and Learn. And we'll answer 5 questions then. So they are for script readers, Jessica. Typically, we're talking about reading with the workshops. It's all about how to be a reader. So he's like my Charlie to my angel. Freeze. That's my angel impersonation. So yeah, so Jessica, yeah, it's all about reading. It's all about what does it take to be a reader? What do you need to know if you want to do this job as a reader? In here, we'll talk a little bit about both. This is primarily about reading. It's just that question came up, so we wanted to make sure. Plus, we want people to know that we know how to break down a screenplay. If we're going to teach you how to be a reader, we want you to know that we're really, you know, and if we come across, I'm definitely going to check out the stuff that you mentioned. I mean, if we come across things that I'm not aware of, I'm jumping on it so that I'm always up to date on what everybody's doing. So it is, oh, thanks. She's a screen reader, so she's saying it's both. It's focused on reading, but in order to be a reader, you need to know screenplay, everything about screenplays. So it definitely covers both, but we're focused on the readers. Does that make sense? Squirrel, who said that? Cool. That's so true. It's all true. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for giving me this time on Saturday. Really grateful for all of you guys that showed up. And for those of you that are in the replay, hello, hello. Did you get that? It's not a little replay joke. Okay, I'm going to go now. It's Saturday. Yeah, we're going to get back to work, really, is what we're going to be doing. So we've got a lot of stuff. And I will post, awesome, thanks, Jessica. I will post a handout that matches what we talked about today so that you guys have it to refer to. Cool? All right, we will see you on Monday at noon. Lunch and Learn. Have your lunch with us. Today we had coffee or tea, and Monday we will have lunch. Thanks, you guys. I will see you then. You guys are awesome. Talk to you soon. Bye.